What's up, guys? Master Joda here, back with another Clash Royale video today. In this video, guys, we're going to be playing a crazy Royal Giant deck. I don't know if you guys ever have watched a guy called Pheno Final Form, but he plays this, he one-tricks this deck on top ladder. It's a Sparky Royal Giant HOG deck. Just a really crazy combination. For those 3 cards, you never see those cards in the same deck, really. And it really throws your opponents off. This deck is great against stuff like Expo. And yeah, it's just really fun destroying meta decks with this really off-meta deck. And it can just really catch your opponent off guard. You know, you drop a Hog Rider and they tornado it, thinking they just have a hard counter to your deck. And then they might go in really hard with a push, and then they realize you have a Royal Giant to punish them really hard. And Royal Giant, if you like tower trade and stuff like that, is just really great into those types of tower trade games. So yeah, guys, let's just go ahead and get into some of this gameplay. This is not one of my best decks or anything. I barely ever play this deck. This is like the second or third time I've even played this deck. So yeah, and we're playing against some pretty solid players and still doing pretty good. So that just goes to show that this deck is really good and really catches good players off guard. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this first gameplay. So getting into this first matchup, I think we're going to be playing a 2.9 Expo, and this is just going to show you how good this deck is against Expo guys. So Royal Giant is one of the hardest counters to Expo, and Hog Rider is also not a terrible answer to it. It's not nearly as good as Royal Giant, but it can really throw your opponent off guard when you go in for a Hog Rider and they think your win condition is out of hand and they go in with an Expo just to be Royal Gianted. So it can be really frustrating for them to go up against. So right here, we're already going to get some pretty good damage with that Royal Giant. We get 2 hits, and he's used his Tesla, so we're going to go in with a Hog Rider. And he's already in pretty big trouble here, guys. We go with a late zap there. I throw the oops because that was kind of a wasted zap, but we still get a huge Sparky connection, and I just shake my head because I know he is just in a world of hurt right now. And you do not want to one-on-one tower trade with a Expo deck, especially when you're playing against a Royal Giant player, because Royal Giant is great in double and triple elixir, and especially in a one-on-one tower situation. So there, this is just going to show you how OP E-Barbs is. So there's a lot of cards in this deck, guys, that are just kind of trigger cards for a lot of people. You got the Royal Giant, the Hog Rider, the Sparky, and the E-Barbs. They all kind of tick people off. So it's just kind of a little bit of a troll deck, but it's actually a really solid deck, really solid cards in the deck, and they actually go pretty good together. And then you have the zap and the arrows just to deal with the swarm that people have, because, I mean, swarm is a good answer to Hog, Sparky, and Royal Giant. So there we're just going to go in with a Sparky opposite lane, and when he drops his Expo, we're going to go in with a Royal Giant and easily deal with that. With this deck, guys, you can split push pretty hard if they have like good buildings for defense and stuff like that. You can build up massive one lane pushes, but also this deck is really just solid for split lane pushes as well. And if they have things such as Rocket, which you'll see in one of the later matchups, you definitely want to focus on split lane pushing, because if they have things such like Rocket or Lightning, they can really get a lot of value if you're just trying to push in one lane. And yeah, here we're getting a pretty good split lane push, dealing with that Expo and Tesla in the middle, and he's not going to be able to defend, guys, and that's going to be GG's. So yeah, that's the end of that first matchup. And after this game, guys, I'll show you this guy's rank just to show you that he is not a scrub. We are in Champion League. I think we're about 100 trophies outside of the top 10,000 right now, which it is kind of early season, but that's still pretty solid. Playing some pretty solid players that get some top 10 finishes pretty regularly, I think. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look at this guy's accolades here and see where he ranked. So yeah, guys, as you can see, a really solid player, ranked in the top 10,000 last season. He has about 16,000 wins, 7,400 trophies as his best. So yeah, a really solid player there. He probably only one-tricks that 2.9 Expo deck because he's only been playing the game for about 2 years. And yeah, he's a one-trick 2.9 Expo player, and we never play this deck and still smashed him. So that just shows you how broken this deck is against Expo. So if you really struggle against Expo, try this deck out. It's got a lot of common cards in it and rare cards. So yeah, it should be pretty easy to level up. The only legendary is Sparky. You have the Royal Giant, which is common. The E-Barbs is common. HOG is a rare. Mega Minions are rare. And Minions are common. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to level up. And just a really fun deck. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this next matchup. So, getting into this one, we're going to throw out the GGs. Good luck. And let's see what this guy has. I believe this is a graveyard matchup, but I'm not positive. He's going to go with a Baby Dragon. We're going to go with a Mega Minion in the back for the response and just kind of fill them out. This is a double elixir deck, guys, but honestly, I'm not super scared to play it aggressive in single elixir, just because you're not scared to tower trade with this kind of deck. And yeah, it is a really good deck for tower trading. So I'm not really scared to play it aggressive in single elixir. He's got us in kind of a bind here with the P.E.K.K.A, so we're going to respond with some Elite Barbarians, and that's going to be quite nice for that. Let's see what he has here. Okay, so here he has the Inferno Drag. We're just going to get a little extra chip with that E-Barb, so we're going to zap his Inferno Drag there and see what he has coming next. So he is going to be graveyarding us here. So we didn't answer this the best, guys. I'm not really sure what we should have done better there, but we definitely could have responded to that a little better. Probably dropped the Mega Minion later for that Inferno Drag and just waited till more skeletons were on the tower there and then arrowed. But we're going to try to climb our way back into this one. P.E.K.K.A is one of the best responses to Royal Giant, so this is probably a better matchup. I messed up that HOG right there and let that P.E.K.K.A get a swipe on it, so we're not even going to get a hit with that HOG. So yeah, guys, let's see how we're able to climb our way out of this one. So near in double elixir here. This deck gets better in double elixir just because it's so heavy. You got the Sparky, the E-Barbs, and the Royal Giant. We're going to bridge spam with the E-Barbs there. See how he deals with it. He's going to kite with the Ice Golem, so well played there. And we're just going to start a Sparky in the back and see if we can't get something going here. So he's got the Baby Drag and the Inferno Drag coming towards us. And yeah, let's see what he does next. So we're going to go in with the Minions. A Hog Rider, just apply some aggression. Try and get his attention off of that right-hand lane. And set up for a Royal Giant. So he's going to go in with the E-Wiz, and then we're going to Royal Giant. Hopefully we can get at least 2 hits. Get it within HOG range. We're going to deal with that Inferno Drag with the Mega Minion there. And yeah, he's got the P.E.K.K.A coming at us, so we're going to try and Minions that. We're going to distract. Well, we try to distract those Minions, or that Baby Drag with that Hog Rider to save our Minions, but that didn't work out. So we're going to have to respond to this P.E.K.K.A here. And yeah, we're going to be able to defend this graveyard okay here. And kind of a tight game now. So he's got about a 800 damage advantage on us. And let's see if we can come back here. So yeah, just with this deck, guys, Sparky in the back is a really good play. You start that Sparky in the back, and then either you can split lane the E-Barbs, you can throw them in one lane depending on what you're facing. Like if you're facing like a Mega Knight or something like that, you're probably going to want to split lane push a lot because you just don't want to give him a huge amount of value. You know, if you drop E-Barbs and Hog Rider at the bridge, he's just going to get a ton of value there. So here, guys, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Royal Giant is amazing in double elixir time. And in one-to-one situations when you're one-to-one tower. And we already cycled back to our RG, and he doesn't have something like Tornado or anything like that, so we're able to get the dub there. So a nice comeback victory there against P.E.K.K.A, which is one of the best counters in the game to Royal Giant. So let's go ahead and get into this last matchup we got here, guys. So getting into this last matchup, I believe we're going to be playing Expo. If you guys really get aggravated with Expo, it can be a really frustrating deck to play against because you can just get defended on so hard and just get rocket cycled out to lose. But with the deck with Hog Rider, Sparky, and Royal Giant, it's going to be really hard to rocket cycle because you're going to need to save that rocket for things such as Sparky and E-Barbs. So, yeah, we're going to start us off with the Sparky in the back there to respond to that Ice Whiz. Once he throws the rocket, we know that he's already used a log and skeleton, so we know he's playing Ice Bow, which is just kind of a frustrating deck to play against if you're playing a person that's really good with it. This is a pretty good player, but we are able to deal quite nicely. In this game, just pretty much any Expo decks, including Ice Bow, is going to be a pretty good matchup for us. But Ice Bow is definitely a harder matchup than 2.9 Expo, just because that rocket is a great answer to Sparky and can answer those big Royal Giant pushes that you build up pretty nicely. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. He sees that we've dropped the Hog Rider, and he thinks that's our only win condition, so he drops that Expo thinking to get a nice lock there. And you see him drop the oops once we drop the Royal Giant, and that's just really frustrating. There he overcommitted on defense with that Valkyrie, guys, and we're going to pre-zap those skeletons. So that was a nice prediction zap on our part on those skeletons, and he has to log and tornado there on our Sparky to not take another hit from that Sparky. So this was like a huge turning point in this game. I've taken the lead now, and I'm in pretty nice control of this one. Giving him the shaking head because I know we're in a pretty good spot now, and throwing out the oops just from that last Expo blunder that he made, not realizing that we had a Royal Giant deck. And yeah, we're gonna start a Sparky in the back. And yeah, guys, this is the thing I'm talking about. Like if a Ice Bow player is just going to try and rocket cycle you without any value on that rocket, you know, to take out a Sparky or something like that, it's going to be really hard for him to defend this push right here. And this is what I was talking about earlier on in the game. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that email. This is what I was talking about earlier on in the game. When they rocket cycle naked, or if you know they have rocket in their deck, you're going to want to split lane push just like you saw me do. And yeah, you're going to be able to really break through a lot when they waste their rocket in the back like that, like you just saw that guy do, because he got no value on it. And then even if he gets back to another rocket, we have a dual lane push coming at him, and yeah, he's just not going to be able to defend efficiently or effectively. So yeah, guys, just a really fun deck. You should try it out. It's got a lot of common cards in it, so if you end up liking the deck a lot, you're going to be able to level up the cards pretty nicely. And Sparky is good even under leveled. So yeah, guys, give the deck a try. Tell me what you like about the deck in the comments below. Tell me what you liked about the video, guys. If you have any recommendations for future videos for me, I would really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.